Hi everyone, it's Raleigh. Welcome back. Today I'm doing some planning in my Hobonichi Weeks and Cousin. I'm going to be setting up the month for February in my weeks first. So I've got a kit from Coffee Monster Co. And I really like the colors on this one. It's nice. So there was my January. And I'm still trying to work out how I'm using this week's because I use the Cousin kind of every day, and I love this size of a planner, and it's kind of what I had, the only type of thing I had last year, the Traveler's Notebook version. But with the Cousin now, I'm still kind of trying to work out what I want to have in here, but I do still want to decorate it, and I really like the month setup. I think they just look nice, and this is still one that I take with me when I do go out, and so it is nice just to have as a reference. I just put kind of the main things in there, but yeah, I really like the way that these months setups look with these kits, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this on, starting by putting the days of the week. And yeah, I love the sort of pink and brown. It's got a bit of a sort of chocolate feel to this one this month, which is really nice. I got one for the Cousin as well. So in here I just put kind of main appointments that I have, and that's why it's handy to have it with me. And I am using the back sections of this quite a bit for different lists and things that I'm tracking. And the weekly I'm using, I'm going to be starting to use it actually this week to track my spending, because that's one of the things I want to do for February. Is I'm aiming to have a no spend month. We'll see how that goes. Oh, look at that. Oh, pictures are just so cute. So I'm just going to be putting just a couple of things down here. Oh, you know what? I've got to put the dates on, so let me go ahead and get those in as well. And these are a little fiddly. I should probably get tweezers. I see everyone using tweezers, so let me just get these on. All right, so I got all the dates in. I put a little, there's a little picture there for Family Day, which is coming up later this month for us. And then I'm just going to use this to cover up the kind of notes that I put about this month. And yeah, if you have any ideas of what else I could track in the monthly, please go ahead and let me know, because I do really like this planner and I want to get a little more use out of it. So I want to try and think of something better to do with the monthly. But for now, I'll just put the main things, which is, so I'll put my paydays on here as well. And I think that might be it for this one. But yeah, I really love this size. So yeah, I'm trying to think of a little more that I can do with it, because I do have the wellness planner as well, which I haven't shown as much. I'm waiting for kits from Rebel & Co for that one, because it is something I want to put a lot of focus on. Although realistically, they very likely could have been combined. I just happened to get to this year when I was starting out. But look at that. Yeah, I really like the colors. And that's part of, I guess, having these as well, is just having something that you enjoy looking at. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use these stickers. One thing I'm putting in here is each month kind of mapping out what my goals will be, and then I'll do a little kind of reflection on them at the end of the month. So I'll use these stickers, and I think I might actually use some of the ones from the Cousin kit, because they have a little more kind of specific things. So let's see here for February. And I'm looking forward, probably on Tuesday, I'll kind of go through my January and have a look back. But I can say that using the planners has been really helpful for sort of being mindful of what it is I want to focus on. I used it to kind of track some things. I found if I'm just kind of aware of things, it's helpful. And really using this and the Cousin, the combination of them, has helped me kind of improve some habits that I want to improve. So I'm hoping to, hey Ren, I'm hoping to do that again this month as well. And yeah, for February, oh yeah, I'm going to use these. So these are from the Cousin kit, but I'm going to pop them in here because they've got good little kind of headers and categories. So yeah, so for February, and I've set all my goals for everything kind of for the year around home, wellness, and financial. So January was a lot about, oh, sorry. I had to pause for a second. So January was a lot just about tracking and starting to kind of, try it and make some changes. Just some, like a simple one was coffee. I was trying to cut back my coffee, so it was something that I sort of monitored and took a few weeks, but now I'm sort of in that habit now. You know, spending only a couple times a week, partly for tracking and partly just, you know, to stop impulse spending. So that has helped as well. And morning routine, that was something else I'd focused on in January that worked well. So now I'm kind of shifting gears. I actually tend to be better anyway in the morning, so I'm happy that I've gotten back into a regular sleep pattern and done that. But this month for February, I'll be focusing more on the evenings. That's when I tend to sort of drift a little bit and don't really, all of a sudden, you know, 3-4 hours has gone by and I haven't done much. So I think that's what, and I'll fill these in probably on Tuesday. But those are the kind of areas, the sort of no spend, having a PM routine, as well as continuing to get stuff done around my home, and just building in some more activity as well. January was a bit of a strange month, you know, for going for walks and other things I like to do, but yeah, so there we go. And now on to the cousin. So I'm also going to be doing the month. So I don't have a ton that I'm putting in, that I put in the monthly from January, not really much anything. Again, I'm trying to think of what else I can use it for. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot more and watching a lot more videos. It's really interesting in the last week or so. A lot of videos have come out about people sort of thinking about the planners they have and what they, you know, how they're finding settling into them. And I mean, realistically, I think, and because I work from home and I'm home, you know, a fair amount, this one I've found has, you know, been my kind of primary planner. And so I do have the 2 other weeks. Now, realistically, I think, you know, what I would, at this point, what I would do probably for next year is have this cousin, but then also have, rather than having the weeks, using the traveler's notebook, because that's kind of the system I used last year. I had a planner that was very much like the weeks, like the weekly layout, but then I also had other inserts that I could use for, you know, home projects or whatever else I was kind of working on. And so I'm thinking that's what I may actually end up doing next year. Yeah, have the cousin as kind of the primary, and then use the traveler's notebook, because I do kind of miss it a little bit, although I still do use it. I put my weeks in it when I go out. But having a traveler's notebook and then having just inserts focused on specific things, like just an insert for activity or just an insert for home, because although I am using, you know, I'm using my wellness weeks and that, a lot of that stuff, I don't necessarily need a full weekly for all of that. So yeah. All right, and I am back. It's actually the next day. So yesterday I got as far as kind of separating out the weekend and then putting the washi tape along the bottom, and then I ended up having to step away. So I did end up putting a couple more pieces in, and again, these are all from the kind of Coffee Monster Co-kits for February. So I blocked off my work up top, put a little note when February's starting, put a note for myself that February is when I want to do a no spend month as well. I have been making progress, just tracking finances, etc. So I want to see, especially after the holidays, if I can kind of step back from spending. I've caught myself a couple times still in that mode of, hey, I want something, let's just order it. So, and I think on the left here, so I just put the word focus, the kind of couple things that I want to focus on, hey Ren, a little bit more this month. And so there'll be, I think it'll be home, my PM routine, and then sure, I think the last one might be activity, because I do want to get moving a little bit more. Hey Ren, yes, you're very helpful. Yeah, and then I think along the bottom, I think what I'm finding is working is, well, I used it this week, was to kind of have these areas and then have notes about things that I want to get done related to them, so that if I find myself with some time, ideally each evening I could maybe pick one thing, whether it's an activity or a home project to do. And I'll also put, I have a couple appointments as well in there. But that's the thing too, like during the day, I'm not quite sure, you know, because I don't put my work stuff in here. So I mean, I've been testing out kind of just using a to-do list or what I want to get done today. And I think I'm kind of zoning in on what's working. And I'm kind of, the only thing is I do think it's helpful for me if I do mark down sort of ahead of time if there's things that I want to do at a certain time. But then I also find myself a little discouraged if I don't do it. So I'm still trying to see how that goes. Oh, so I do have a couple things I have to do. So I need to pick up my new glasses that came in. So I'll do that tomorrow. But yeah, it's been really interesting too to watch, continue to watch different content creators and see how everyone uses their different planners and in what ways. And also, of course, it depends a lot on her lifestyle and what they have going on. I'll get my hair appointment, so I'll put that in as well. But yeah, it's really, I always find it usually kind of inspiring. I like to see how people decorate. I like to see how people use their planners in different ways. But yeah, the Cousin has by far been, I think, I'm just really happy that I made the choice to get it. I had started deciding to get the Weeks, and then as I started thinking about how I think, this could be helpful for just habits and organizing, I decided to get it, and I'm really, really happy that I did. And I do think because I work from home and I kind of have access to it all the time without having to take it out, that's part of what's helpful as well. And I'm just jotting down some notes. So yeah, so these are things I want to do kind of related to these different areas. The idea is that hopefully each night I can just sort of pick and see, or when I have a little window of time, decide which thing I want to work on. Because I think having them down there, a couple key things down there, is good. Because sometimes it's just kind of seeing it and red making that choice. Okay, and let's see. Oh, yeah, I think this is the last day of January, so there are a couple things that I do want to do that day. I always kind of wash my bedding. This weekend, the weekend prior, I kind of do a bigger clean in my home just to kind of have a fresh start to the month. But the night before, I'll do my bedding. And there's a couple other things I can't think right now. Let's see. Oh, yeah, and I wanted to write down some, here we go. Yeah, I find having these sections in the bottom with just kind of notes about things I want to do. So as far as activity, I do want to do Pilates because I haven't done it in a while. And also I do want to try and get out for a trail walk, I think, if I can. And then the other thing is the PM routine, which I'm still trying to work out what that will be. But I did get a pretty good morning routine down, so I'm hoping this month I can kind of settle into an evening, and that's the other thing, it's kind of an evening, but also a nighttime routine, so we'll see. And here, I think I'm just gonna put some other kind of to-do things, a couple things that I want to get done this month. It's a little tricky because I haven't done my sort of monthly setting up exactly what it is, but I know there's a couple things that I want to start to take care of. So I'll jot those down there. And yeah, I find just having the things here is kind of helpful. Just jotting things down as they come to me. Oh, and there's a couple people I want to reach out to this week as well, now that the big holidays are over. And let's see, a couple more things for the to-do, and I think that might be about it. I do want to, and the weekend space too, I find is good for just sort of jotting down things that I'd hope to get done by the end of the week, and if I haven't gotten to them, I can kind of put them in that area. But yeah, this is kind of system I've been using lately, and so I think I'm getting there. And you know what, and if nothing else, I'm just enjoying it and finding it helpful to have it. I think for me, just having everything written down is helpful as well. Oh, and I want to focus on, I've been enjoying reading more, but yeah, I want to, there's a book I'm reading actually. It's called How to Build a Healthy Brain. It's really, really good. So I want to try and get through a couple of, the first couple chapters this week for sure. I'd started reading it, I got it a while ago, and I started reading it and I liked it, and then I sort of paused. So I want to read that, and there's one other that I want to finish up. Reading is one of those things I enjoyed if I can, you know, set aside time for it a couple times a week, but then it's easy for it to slip by. So it's another one of those things where just having it here just makes me think of it a little bit more. And I think this will be it for today, but yeah, I think it's a pretty good start for the week. So thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye.